Hickok 45, coming to you from the barren hills of Middle Tennessee. Yes, the home of Dolly Parton, Alvin York, Davy Crockett, all sorts of people. Tennessee is almost famous, you could say, right? Yeah, you could say barren. Leaves are falling off the trees. You can see them on the ground, right? They're everywhere. Yes, I have good protection out here in the woods, though. I'm deep into the compound at a secret location, right? So I thought I might bring along a protector. How about that? Can you see? I won't point it right at you. Can you see those two barrels? Yeah, the double 9 or double 1911, the dueler prismatic. So, been shooting it. Might talk a little bit about it, but glad you're here. Glad you followed me out here. Well, really don't want you to follow me out into the woods, but anyway, since you're here, we'll talk a little. I'll talk a little. I'll chat at you. I'm sorry, but you mainly have to listen. Actually, you could talk all you wanted, I guess. I just would not hear you. But anyway, got to put up with some yakking. It's that time again, another shooting the breeze, even though there's really not much of a breeze. And actually, you don't have to put up with it. You can click out, can't you? That's the beauty of the internet or your TV set or anything. Yeah, we've been shooting some interesting firearms lately. Of course, interesting is relative, isn't it? There's hardly a firearm out there that I don't find interesting to some extent, really. Gosh, you know, give me a J-frame of some sort that I've not shot or handled, and it will be interesting to some extent, even though there are a lot of different variations of it. So, and if you're a true gunny shooting enthusiast, you know what I mean, don't you? That firearms are just interesting. You know, it's just like if you're a car guy, car gal. Almost any sort of vehicle is kind of interesting because you know a lot about it. Maybe you've tested a lot of them, or I don't know. Just rambling. But anyway, yeah, we've had some fairly interesting firearms. There's different firearms, I guess I should say, like this. Okay, and you'll see a couple of videos with it. Y'all have requested it several times, and we were able to get one from Bud's gun shop, and you know, I'm a little surprised they'd want to send this thing along. They're so expensive, and when it goes back on the e-gunner auction, I hope they get most of their money out of it. I don't know, they're expensive. This particular one is about $7,500 or something. So, but we're really glad to bring it to you, and we've done a couple of videos. Might even do a close-up with it, I don't know, before we send it back. And that's the benefit, you know, of having support like we do from Federal and Bud's Gun Shop and you know, SDI. It enables us to do a lot of things we could not do. We'd still be cranking along just fine, but this adds some nice gravy, you know, to the mix that maybe we wouldn't have done otherwise. You know, support of like Royal Range and different gun shops that have helped us out. Guns and Leather, and many, I don't even want to start naming them because a lot of gun shops have helped us in various ways. The Gun Parlor in Worcester, Massachusetts, and just various sites. You know, so mainly in an effort to acquire firearms easily, I guess I should say, more easily. Okay, hope I don't fall off this log or it doesn't break on me. I'm leaning against a little tree here. Yeah, didn't bring my chair out to the woods. So I'm sitting on nature's chairs. What else have we done lately? Well, you probably have seen the Desert Eagle. That's another interesting firearm in 50 AE. Gosh, it kind of reminds me of this, except not quite as blocky as this thing. We've got a Kimber coming up. I don't know if I've shown you that at all on Facebook or anything. Sometimes I'll paste a picture on Facebook, a teaser, or on Instagram, but not always. I just use those sporadically, Twitter. Whatever I put on Facebook goes to Twitter. I rarely just go to Twitter. Probably should. I think a lot of people live on Twitter. They live by Twitter. Well, I guess I kind of use Facebook for that because you can, I don't know, it seems easier to post pictures or link to video. I guess I could do it on Twitter, but I don't know. We got 500,000 of you following us on Facebook, so I kind of focus on that as the primary source outside YouTube. Things that just awkward or hard to do or impossible to do on YouTube, without just really cluttering up the channel with a lot of stuff. We're going to mainly have regular videos, vlogs or gun videos, and and some of the other series things we do, Deep Woods Thoughts, Thinking in the Woods, which I haven't done lately. Need to get one, don't I? So anyway, that's a little bit of that. Weather's changing, as you can see, and probably, well, maybe where you live, it's changing. So you'll see some videos. We were able to do several videos here before the weather. I think this is the last warm day. And it's one reason I thought I need to do a Shooting the Breeze. Haven't done one in a while. And I should, well, I'll just estimate the time here. I don't want to make this one as long for you. I'm about to lose light, I think, anyway. But the weather's changing, and today is like 80 degrees or something. It's going to be a high of low 50s tomorrow, and we're probably in for, okay, the start of winter. And of course we still do videos through the winter, but it's nice to get as many things done, guns that we have, in the warmer weather, and then we still do them through the winter. But yeah, if it's a couple of weeks of really bad weather, we can still maintain our posting schedule as we've talked about. So that's cool. So again, you'll see videos with leaves on the trees. They might be really green. Yeah. But yeah, if you look out your door, it's not really green. So that's the way it goes. Only on YouTube is that even noticed or an issue, right? So it's the same. Of course, the range changes a lot. And it's interesting the way people watch the videos, because there's like, there's an average of 1,000 new people a day subscribing, and lately it's 2,000. So there's just a lot of new people coming in, and they're going back through some of the videos, and it's winter in one, it's summer in one, it's fall, and so I guess it's kind of neat to see the range in a lot of different, or the environment that you're watching, and with a lot of different backgrounds, to it, and so that's just the way it goes. It's kind of neat. It's the same range, but it does change a lot, doesn't it? Which reminds, about once every few months, someone will say something about in a comment like, why don't you get a new range? This one's getting boring. It's like, oh really? Not boring to me. It took me, quite a few years to get this range where I want it, and most people consider it a dream range, and I do too. I mean, you could do better, if I had more land and whatever, but it's my dream range, and so this is where we're going to do the videos on either range 1 or range 2, and they're in the woods or just whatever. So wow. So and then anyways, you all know the range gives consistency, really, in a lot of ways. Having the same targets, more or less. I think when we review 3 or 4 different firearms, it tells you a little bit of something. If I cannot hit the red plate, for example, at 75 yards with this or another firearm, but then firearm XYZ, I can hit it easily. Now some days I shoot better than others, just like you, but it's still that consistency of most of the targets, I think, also can be informative. Am I dreaming that? Yeah, I think so. But the guns are the stars of the show. I mean, the guns are the celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. The range is not a celebrity. Well, the range is becoming a celebrity, I guess, but it's the firearm that's the variable. That's the celebrity of the show. That's the star of the show, whatever it is. The old gun, new gun, that's what we're looking at, right? So anyway, the range changes, weather changes, the seasons change. It's kind of neat. I get messages from soldiers over in the sandbox or wherever, and they will tell me they enjoy watching the different seasons, in the videos, because they miss it if they've been over there for a year or two. So it's kind of a refreshing thing for them, and I like that. But I'm glad they enjoy that, right? Well, I guess the other big elephant in the room is the election. And if you saw John and me talking on, not John and I, John and me, you saw John and me talking on Hickok 45 and Son channel in his recent Gun Culture Radio posting. We talked about a lot of that, so and it is funny. People will say, when are you going to talk about this, or have you talked about that? Well, yes, maybe extensively. And I had 100 radio shows. They're right there posted. And I don't know what this is about, Shooting the Breeze 15, 16 or something like that. I'll look it up. You know, I do a lot of yakking, probably too much yakking at you. So we talk about everything at some point. And over on the other channel, Hickok 45 and Sun, I go over there and yak with John, and we talk about things that we generally don't talk about in main videos. So we like to keep them pretty much focused on the firearm. And there's lots of places to talk about various things. Although we try not to get too political, too party political, party political. But we talked about some of that, and you know, and with the election over and everything, and of course a lot of people were surprised on both sides. And you know, I lean libertarian. I wasn't extremely fond of either candidate, but I voted, of course, and I think a lot of people in the firearms community are pleased. One of the cautions, though, I think we need to keep in mind is, while yes, we don't have somebody in the Oval Office actually expressing the desire to limit gun rights and take guns, wanting an Australian type of gun control. We don't have anybody talking about that, and the President-elect Trump is seemingly pro-Second Amendment. We have to be careful. You know, he's a big compromiser. He may get a lot done because of that. A lot of things we want done and that need to be done. But in the firearms world, gun rights world, you know, there could be some major compromise or two that we do not want at all. We've been compromising for 40 or 50 years, you know. It's just so we're tired of compromising. We want to push back finally and get some of our rights back. Maybe with SBRs, SBSs, suppressors, and that kind of, at least. I don't know if we can repeal the Hughes Amendment, but it's going to be hard to convince people, hey, everybody needs a machine gun. That's going to be tough politically. Maybe we could do it. I don't know. But short-barreled rifles and some of those stupid laws, like suppressors, things that make no sense, laws restricting some of these things. You know, as you know, if you're a shooter, there's so many firearms restrictions that are just bananas, really. Maybe we can make some progress on that over the next few years, but still, you know, it might be even more important now. Maybe we can get something done. You really stay in touch with your representatives and you know, keep at it. And you know, it's like stocks or gold or anything like that. Not that I'm a big investor, but you want to be investing when the price is down, when there's not a lot of excitement about it, right? That's when it's good to stock up on things. There's not a lot of excitement. And maybe over the next 3-4 years, it is a good time to continue your accumulation. I sound like I'm a representative for the firearms community or something, but it's a good time if you are short on magazines, some of the things that could fall under restriction at some point. What's that in the woods? Nothing. Okay. It's not a zombie. Yeah, pick up a couple, 3 every now and then. You go to a gun show, gun store, support your gun stores. You know, pick up a couple of Magpuls or something, or Lancer mags, or some other brands. You know, Daniel and Fence, whatever magazines you like, Glock mags or M&P mags, stuff that has been in my lifetime severely under restriction and extremely expensive because of that. You know, and then the reason I even mention that is. I still say, and you've heard me say this before if you've been around a while, I think the more of these things we own, and boy, we have millions and millions of 30-round AR mags, right? Millions and millions of Glock magazines, standard capacity. And the more we have, the less feasible, the more fantasy it would be. I mean, you'd be living in a fantasy world to think you could take that stuff up. Because 95% of people are not going to give it up, even an AR-15. You know, if we got any anti-gunners watching, stumbling in, there are, I don't know what the estimate is now, 15 million of them or something in private owners' hands or something. Let's get it up to 50 million. You know, I mean, if you like them, if you don't like them, don't buy them. But I mean, we're to the point now already almost where how are you going to manage that? So we need to, for the sake of the Second Amendment, the more unmanageable it is, the better, I think, okay? It seems kind of simple, like a simpleton approach to things. I'm good at simpleton, but really, you know, think about what if you, there were restrictions on, I don't know, butter knives that was proposed or something. Well, how are you going to get all the butter knives? You know? How are you going to get all the shoestrings? You going to take up the shoestrings? Shoestrings are dangerous. You can, you know, if you were even in power and you had a conference room of people, around the table, yeah, we really need to get the shoestrings tight. They're dangerous. Kids are strangling on them or whatever crazy thing they have in their minds. Somebody at that table would say, yeah, but yeah, look how many are out there. And people are not going to want to give them up. Yeah. It's tabled. Forget that one. See? Anyway, that's part of my theory on that. Okay. So anyway, there still could be surprises, and we can't relax. We cannot relax, and it's a strange election. It's a strange time here in 2016, almost 2017. I've never seen so much division in the world as we have right now. At least apparent division. I'm not sure if it's all real. A lot of it's media induced, and where the media focuses the camera. Because if you focus the camera on a group or on a college campus or on the streets, and anybody who gets out there and protests or gets upset about something knows they're going to get their 15 minutes of fame, it can actually increase that sort of thing. And so I don't know. And everybody wants attention. They want their 15 minutes of fame. So I don't know. Some of it's that, But I just don't know. I don't think there's as much division, although it has increased. And the media and certain individuals have made it worse through the media. I still don't think most people are really racist at all. They're not sexist. They're ageist or whatever you want to come up with. Most people in this year of 2016 are fairly enlightened. There's a lot of unenlightened people too. But most people, I mean, that stuff is so stupid, who in the world judges somebody these days because of the color of their skin or their gender or their age? Yeah, there are few. I think it's a lot fewer than anybody imagines, or not anybody, but a lot of people will admit. The media won't admit it because they thrive on it. If there's not division, controversy, they just don't get as many viewers. They got to have drama. They got 24 hours a day to fill, so there's got to be something going on. If there's not, they've got to dream it up, right? So try to keep that in mind. I don't know. I think the division, the biggest part of the division, really, it has to do with ideology and philosophy. Now that division does exist. I will freely admit, I am not like this person right here at all. At all. I am really counter to that person's thinking, perhaps, or their philosophy on life. What color they are, what their gender is, how old they are, that is so stupid. I don't care. Who cares? Or how tall they are, or how short they are, whatever you want to make up, what color their hair is. How stupid is that? How brainless is that to judge people based on those superficial things? Hopefully there aren't that many people doing that today, and I don't think there are really. There are a few, and there's some really bad ones, but the percentage is small. But it really, I think, comes down to the way people think. There are, and of course, the big buzzword now is compromise, and try to see the other person's point of view, and let's try to work together, and which is good. But there's people I'm not going to be able to work with because they just don't see the world the way I see it at all. Like if someone thinks I shouldn't be able to own this, for example, that person and we're not going to reach an agreement probably, and I'm not motivated to even try because they think I can't have this firearm. It's too dangerous. I vehemently disagree, whether it's an AR-15 or a shotgun or whatever it might be. And we all know the firearms are not a problem. There's some people with them are a problem, or with whatever they have, a stick, baseball bat, or whatever. So I'm not going to agree. So that division, maybe it is real. And as I hear some people interviewed, on the news channels, whether they're on a college campus or wherever they are, if they're downtown, whatever, Nashville or New York, I can just tell from what they say and their views on socialism, and that kind of thing, maybe gun control or whatever. Yeah, there's a divide. I'll admit to that. I'm never going to agree with those folks, and I don't even want to compromise with them. Yeah, so there are some things that just are a part of me, and they may say the same thing. So everybody's not necessarily going to meet in the middle, I guess is what I'm saying, and we're all going to have a hug and go on our merry way and everybody will be happy. No, we won't be happy. because my core beliefs are what they are. I've spent a lot of years developing those core beliefs, and I feel like I'm fairly enlightened. I'm not going to change my views on some of those things, especially on individual liberty and freedom. So, we're just not going to be able to meet in the middle on some things. So that's okay. That's okay. But we do have to agree to disagree and, live with the verdict, live with whoever gets elected as best we can, and, work to get someone else elected. That's just kind of the way the world works. A lot of people have not been through disappointing elections, or maybe disappointment period in their lives. I've been through a lot of elections. I remember when Reagan was elected, everybody thought the world was going to be blown up because he was such a hawk and different things like that. Yeah, it turns out it works out okay. He actually does some good things, maybe some bad things too. But so, it's never as bad as it seems. Never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. Okay. So it's just kind of the way it is. But anyway, a lot of the young people protesting and going crazy, if you look back at their age, maybe they've not even been through a disappointing election to where before, and so most of us have, if we're over 40 or 50, so we have a different perspective on that. So just in the interest of cutting them some slack, however, the protests and all that kind of thing, that's kind of a new deal there, going out and trying to reverse an election or whatever. But anyway, a lot of it comes from youth and frustration. So and both candidates were very polarizing in a lot of ways, right? So, but anyway, I think things will be better in terms of firearms rights. Just let's not relax too much, okay? What else was I going to talk about? The woods. Is it getting dark? Can you see me? Maybe I should just keep yakking until it turns totally dark. I can see on the monitor it looks a lot brighter than it really is out here, and that happens in the videos sometimes. I'll make a comment about, well, if y'all can see this, if it's not too dark, I'm going to take another shot at the gong or something before we wrap up, because we generally wait till later in the afternoon to do a video. And it really seems almost too dark to film, but these new cameras, they pick up whatever light is there, and it's a lot brighter to you than it is to me right now. Okay, I can tell from the monitor because that's what you're seeing. Okay, now I'm not saying I'm brighter, right? But everything looks a little brighter. It's getting dark actually. I don't know what else. Oh, I was riding around. I had a good day today. We didn't do any videos today, which that doesn't mean it's a good day. I enjoy doing videos. We've done several this week. We've been really busy, getting ready for videos and all that is associated with that. And today we didn't do any. I ran around, had breakfast with 22 Plinkster, and went out and saw another friend of mine, Franklin, Tennessee, lives out on a little ranch and stuff, and had lunch and had a great day. I was in the car though, running around, and I was listening to some music, and it occurred to me, if you want to talk about music, do you? Probably not. But who was it? It was a Rolling Stones song, I think, yeah. And it just occurred, no, it was Led Zeppelin. And I thought, wow. Yeah, I know, it sounded like an old guy, right? But I was just thinking, where's Led Zeppelin today? I mean, where's the new Led Zeppelin? I mean, obviously Led Zeppelin was unique, but what happened to music? It's kind of sad. I'm sure there's some good music I've just not heard, but it's really a shame, isn't it? You music lovers, you've got to go back into the 60s and 70s to get really good music. And I'm not talking about just rock. And I like even classical at times, country at times, rock, classic rock especially at times. I love what's it called? Bob Dylan type music, ballads and folk music. Some of my favorites. So I like all sorts of music, but man, where's the Bob Dylans of today? I know I'm bringing up icons, like saying, where's Aristotle, Plato, but where's Bob Dylan? Where are the Bob Dylans today? Why aren't they on the radio at all? Even a poor Bob Dylan, even a copycat Bob Dylan, or John Prine, or Johnny Cash, Where's the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Jethro Tull? You name them all day if you want to. Where are those bands? Speaking of diversity, the incredible diversity. If you go to a classic rock station, or you could go back into time into the 70s and just listen to the songs on the radio, every song was just really different, totally different sound. And even within the songs, some of the later Beatles songs, just incredible creations. The Sgt. Pepper's, album. And is that kind of stuff out there? Boy, I sure don't know where it is, if it is. I just, just to mention men, of course, but like Dolly Parton or Reba McEntire, we can mention a lot of female artists too. So distinct and so different, and the genius there. It's sad, I guess I was lucky. I grew up in, in the 60s and the 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, but, I cut my teeth on the Beatles. When you're about 12 or 13 or 14, whatever music you're hearing on the radio a lot at that time, and I do say on the radio back then, didn't have the choice of popping in what you wanted, but the Beatles, Paul McCartney and Lennon. So I guess in terms of music, that was pretty incredible to come of age when every other song on the radio is Beatles, then Rolling Stones, and then all that great music of Dave Clark Five, or whoever you want to mention, of the 60s, and then Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, and in country, my parents liked that better than I did, and I grew up there with Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins and all those people. And you can pick rock or you can go to country. I watched the Country Music Awards the other night, and boy, it was great. They did, a 50-year anniversary of some of the greats. And I've got that tape, by the way. I'm going to watch it again. I mean, they had everybody. Alan Jackson's another one I should mention. I taught his children, by the way, all three of his girls. I couldn't talk about that, when that was going on, and I didn't even talk about it, but it's been a lot of years now. So I met him several times, had a few chats with him, but and Johnny Cash's grandson, just some different country music celebrities, children or grandkids, came through where I was teaching, every now and then. So it was kind of interesting to meet those folks. But like, where are those people? To me, maybe it's an old guy, but country music is really just pop music, and they throw in a steel guitar, but it's just pop music, and so many of them sound alike, and so much of it is so dumb and superficial, which is okay sometimes, but I don't know. Sound like an old man, don't I? Complaining about, where are the Rolling Stones? Of course, my dad was complaining about, turn off the Rolling Stone, those Beatles, those idiots. You get some good music on there. It changes with every generation. But anyway, one of my gripes there, where music has gone, what's happened to it. It's kind of a shame. As I sit here in the dark, it really does feel like the dark. Kind of funny. Okay, that's probably yacked enough. But I wanted to do a shooting the breeze here while it was still nice and warm, and there is no breeze. But we appreciate you all tuning in, and we really, really do. We appreciate the help we get from you all, helping with comments, and most of you are pretty sane. We don't get a lot of insane comments. We get a few, and not all that many trolls. Occasionally get one or two. We do get people stealing our stuff sometimes, which I've been meaning to mention that sometime. I always forget. It's not the first thing on my mind, but if you ever see that stuff, like I've said before, maybe let me know. It's hard to run it all down. The main thing is, I hope you don't watch it on somebody else's channel. Like if somebody steals our video on this gun or whatever firearm it might be, if you like what we do and you support us, which you do if you're watching this probably, I hope that hope you'll let them know they've stolen it, okay? Unless it's a link, so you can tell if it's real. If it's just uploaded our video, it's amazing the gall that people have just do that. I think, speaking of Elvis, Johnny Cash, and all those, I think I'll just record all their music and upload it as my own, and and I'll tell them if the publisher complains. What do you mean? I was just trying to help give Elvis some more PR, putting him on my channel. There's such a thing as intellectual property. I know it's a stretch to think about our videos as intellectual anything, but it's still intellectual property. So anyway, and a lot of you remind me of when you find those, I appreciate that. I've had some of them taken down. The problem is you've got to go through each individual video to do that, and I do that sometimes. It's a blatant situation. But we appreciate y'all's support and helping in the comments and helping to answer questions and just being there, you know, and coming back. And one thing I've been hearing a lot from people, they've been commenting about how they were unsubscribed by YouTube or something, and they wondered why they hadn't seen a video in a while. And hopefully that's not too widespread. You can count that on us posting at least a couple of videos a week. So, you know, if you're not getting notified a couple of times a week, yeah, you must be unsubscribed or there's some kind of problem. But anyway, glad you're watching. We enjoy still doing what we're doing. You know, you would think that after all this time, I wouldn't look forward maybe to doing a video, but I really do. I'm just honestly, hopefully you can tell in the videos, I'm not faking, you know, I'm not a very good actor. I need to tell you that, right? We're going to do a couple tomorrow on Saturday, and we normally don't do that. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've had a long week, done a lot of video work and everything, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. I get the guns out the day before, different things, check things out, take some more shots if it's something we've already shot, and I still enjoy it, even if it's a firearm I've shot a lot, or if it's a firearm I haven't shot much. It's fun. I'm a lucky guy, as I've told you before, and you know that. I don't have to tell you how lucky I am to be able to do this for a living and just kind of do it the way we want to do it, you know, the way John and I like to do it. So again, if it ends tomorrow, it's been great, really. It's you know, it's I guess everybody's dream to do something you enjoy doing, and especially with your hobby, something you've had as a hobby for decades and decades, and then turn it into kind of a livelihood, and then even be able to do it more often, you know, or do it with firearms you wouldn't normally have been able to shoot or have experience with, that kind of thing. So, anyway, I guess I am sitting here as it gets dark. I mean, it is very dark, or I mean, it's not really dark, but it's getting very close. It appears that you can still see me, so I should probably just keep going until you can't see me. You can only hear me. How would that be? So, anyway, I enjoy shooting these crazy firearms, even if they're kind of impractical. Some of y'all want to see them, so I'm willing to try them out and bring them to you. And that's one of the biggest reasons that life is good.